Hey guys, welcome to Flicks with Alex. Alright, so before we begin and start talking about the main movie that I want to do a quick review on, I want to go back and amend some of the ratings that I had for previous videos. I got some feedback from a couple of y'all, and yes, I know I can be very generous with my ratings, and that's just how I am. I tend to like things more, see a lot more positivity with things, and just give grace. However, not skew things. I have decided to be a little bit more critical on certain ones. So, with that being said, the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, gonna give it a 3. And the TV show, I did like it better than the original, so 3.5. And now for the main movie. I just came back from I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I liked it. It was much better than I was expecting, to be quite honest. Just based on this past week of watching the originals plus the TV show, I was like, okay, I knew what to expect formulaically, and I was impressed with what we got. The cast was actually really, really strong. You had Chase Sweet Wonders, who is Ava, which I consider the lead, Madeline Chase, who played Danica, Jonah Howard King, who played Milo, Tyreek Withers, who played Teddy, and Sarah Pidgeon, who played Stevie. Those were the main victims of the story. And then you also had Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. With that being said, I thought that they used the original cast survivors very well. There's movies that when they use the original cast to essentially bring people into the new one, it feels wasted or sometimes just not done right. It just feels like fluff. It was just there for the sake of being there. With Ray and Julie, I felt that they were poignant for certain points of the movie, but the whole story wasn't hinged on their presence, right? They were just useful to give guidance. I really liked the chemistry and the charisma that they all brought. It felt fluid. It didn't feel too forced. And also too, I really liked their relationships between all the characters. In previous iterations, they had some kind of connection, but there was like a lot of like infighting. I felt in this one there was more unity between all the characters. So yeah, there's that. I thought the cast did great, old and new. The overall story I thought was pretty solid. It's just basic. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Something happens a year later, people start dying. The deaths were like the original in terms of just, you got a hook killing people, but it was nice. They were graphic, but nothing too gory. What I thought was nice is that they had a lot of Easter eggs for the original movies. I think it wouldn't hurt to at least watch the first two movies because you'll be able to get some of the references and have a much more appreciation for it. However, it is definitely not required. Other parts of the movie, I thought the suspense was good, appropriate amount of comedic moments. Plot was, I might have said previously, easy to follow. There were a couple clunky moments, probably due to editing or whatever, that took me out very briefly, but it didn't last that long. So overall, acting, the overall production of it all, and story, solid, strong, not amazing. There are some parts to it that could have been refined, but overall, I thought they put a cohesive story together, and I say it's a pretty solid movie. I'd give this one a true 4. I think it's worth watching if you like the original ones, and or if you just like slashers. So, what do you guys think? Are you guys going to see it? Are you not going to go see it? Let me know in the comments. Until then, see you after the show.